thank you. I'm here all week. So, God, look at my hair. Now that we have our base all sorted out, we are gonna do some contouring. And this is something that like you see on Instagram and you kind of associate it with Kim Kardashian and you see like all the different things on it looks dead complicated and it's actually not. It's also easier for anyone who draws because you just highlight the bits you'd highlight on a portrait and like darken the bits you would shade. It's also helpful if you stand directly in front of the light and you can actually see like the light hits here, 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 here. Like you just highlight the bits that the light hits and then you shade like here, 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 like the bits that are dark. It's literally that straightforward. So I'm going to start with the highlight. I'm going to use our BB cream. This is cream, which is the lightest colour that we have. I can actually get away with wearing this. I'm that pale. I normally mix it with a little bit of biscuit because I find it's just a little bit pale for me. But just put a little bit. And I'm actually using the Splurge cream brush because I don't have a concealer brush. The concealer brush is really good for this. But you can do it with your fingers, you can do it with the end of a blending board, you can do it any way you want. And you start with the Tree of Life. So when I learned to do this at class, someone said Tree of Life and it just stuck in my head, so I'm like, Tree of Life! And that's how you start. So basically just highlighting like your forehead, down the middle of your nose. This is like the main part where the light hits, so you also do your cupid's bow and your chin. The other parts you highlight is under your eyes. I tend to get dark circles there, and across your cheekbones. So don't ever just do like under your eyes like that because it actually draws attention to those dark spots. You want to be able to blend that right down under your cheek. I've got all about that bass stuck in my head. I'm like, it's all about the bass. To get you a new song for the next video, eh? Just kind of slapping it all on. Da-da-da. And then on a highlight here and here. I've still got a little bit left, so I'm just going to go over it again. The nice thing with the BB cream is like you have to put on a little bit more than you think you would, or else the contours don't show up. But the BB cream leaves this really nice dewy finish. It's really light to wear. It's shea butter based, so it moisturises your skin. So I mean, you're giving your skin a bit of a treatment with it on as well. So, ta-da! Cool. Now I'm not going to go crazy with the contours. I'm going to use honey, which is 2 steps up from cream. And you can also mix them. So this is bisque. I am going to use honey, but I'm not going to try and put the bisque back. So obviously if you use one darker, then you know you're going to get a bit more of a contrast between your highlights and your shadows. A bit of a mess of that. You don't really want there to be like definitive lines. You want to be able to blend it all in at the end, so I wouldn't go too dark. But you can mix. I'm going to have to mix biscuit and honey now because it's on my hand. But you can also mix like a couple of together if you feel like one of them's not quite dark enough but the next one's too dark. I mean, that's the joy of BB creams, I guess. I really like them. Okay, so I'm just chippering now. The darken part, again, you're just going to go over the bits that are in shadow. So basically under your hairline tends to be in a shadow. And down the side of your nose. This will like slim out your nose as well. So if your nose is one of those things that you're a bit self-conscious about, you know, contouring it, actually it's amazing like what it does when you get the hang of it. And then you go under that cheekbone. Maybe could have used a slightly darker one, but never mind. And then if you just here under your jawline, just kind of contours like your chin and your jaw and gives it that kind of like chiseled look. This should be enough. I've kind of run out, but I don't want to put too much more on. You're basically just filling in the spaces. Cool. So there we go. And then what you do is you blend it all together. So now you've got like all your crazy geometrical war paint on. And you take your blending buds. Mine here. I really love these. They're like, it's like foam. It's like a sponge. And you just make it a little bit wet when you use it. And it doesn't take the product like off your face onto the sponge, which is really good. So what you do, you just basically bounce it off your face. And I'm going to start with the highlights. Because although you want to blend it in, you still want to keep like the highlights where the highlights are. And you know, the contouring where the contouring is. So you don't want it to look like you have war paint on, but at the same time, you don't want to lose the definition you've just made. And this has like little pointy bits on the end, so you can get into all those little cracks in your eyes. The reason I'm doing the highlight first is so that I don't end up like mixing the dark into it. I'll do one side of my face so you can see. And you can see it all blends quite nicely in. And don't forget to do it under your nose. And down your neck so you don't get that tide line. You can be really gentle with it, you don't have to like scrub it. But again, you can do this, you know, with a brush, with your fingers, whatever you want. There's no real like right and wrong way of doing it. And there you go. So you can see that side is a result of this. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so I just did that side really quickly for you, so you don't have to listen to me talking rubbish for like another half of my face. So that's basically it. You can see like the contour, the highlights here. What you then do is just set it with a powder. So I have my pressed powder in Velour, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to take my puff brush and I'm going to just go over the highlighted parts with this. And the BB cream on its own, that you can see, it gives that kind of dewy finish. It gives just a little bit of shine to your face. The powder just kind of sets it into a bit more of a matte, and once you've set it, it's much easier just to leave it for the rest of the day. You don't really need an awful lot, I'm just like touching it in and that's it. Because you still want to keep those highlights and contours. And what you do with the contour is you take a bronzer. I thought I had everything sitting out. I don't actually have a bronzer, so what I use is a really dark blusher, which I've lost. 1 second. Fell on the floor. And it survived, look at that. Cool, this is a Victoria Jackson blusher. It's a bit dark for me, so I use it as a bronzer, and again, just a little bit. And you just go back over the bits you contoured. So you've got that like figure of 3 around the side of your face. I'm using the Younique blusher brush, which is like, it's angled and it's quite slim, and it's just perfect for this, for getting that line under your cheekbone. And then you can take just that little bit down the side of your nose if you want. Quite like my nose, so I don't tend to contour my nose too much. And there you go. And what you can also do if you wanted a little bit of extra. If you have a shimmer, I'm just going to go to my magic makeup bag. If you have a shimmer eyeshadow or like a shimmer highlight, you can take that and add just, it's like the very top of your cheekbone under your eye. This is Sexy, which is like a really pale pink. And with this you do again that figure of 3 like around your eyebrow, around your eye. Confident, it's not Confident because that's gold. Curious is almost a translucent pigment that we have, and it is a really good highlighter as well. And it just gives that little bit of shimmer highlight that you see on all those Instagram pictures. Yeah. And there you go, that's it, that's all there is to it. I mean, anything you're not sure about, just blend it more. Like I've just seen that's quite dark, so blend it. Blending really is the magic of makeup. Nothing is unrescuable if you blend it enough. And there you go, highlighted and contoured.